Hello everybody, this is Question Mark, and it is May 23rd, I believe, and I have a new video for you today, a new opening of Secret Lairs. I've got a bunch of them that came in the mail recently for me and a friend, and I'm going to let you all take a look at what is inside. We got the Secret Lair Arcane, Welcome to Castle Dracula, Fblthp Completely, Utterly, Totally Lost, the Dracula Lands, and Secret Lair X Arcane Foil Edition. So some of these are actually for me, some of these are for somebody else, but I want to take a look, and of course, in addition to the cards that we know will be in here, like this is the, we're going to start with the Dracula Lands, which might be the least exciting in a lot of ways, in that, it comes with a basic land of each type, of course. But there's going to be a secret card in the back of each of these boxes as well, and that could be a variety of things. And they do, of course, now have the smaller packaging, which is good. And okay. So we've got the planes up the front here. Hopefully this isn't stuck down too hard. Yeah, some of them have been stuck down pretty hard and a little hard to open without bending them a little bit, but that one wasn't stuck too bad. And let's get these open and take a look at them. I have a Vampire Commander deck, an Edgar Markov deck, as a lot of people do, I suppose. And I thought these would be perfect for it. I love this forest. It reminds me of either Vampire Hunter D or actually the movie Van Helsing. I remember there's an important scene with carriages and kind of a race and horses and vampires and stuff. Of course, the deck will be playing mountains and swamps. Oh, I love this swamp art. Real Dracula stuff going on there. The plains, kind of a stretch for a plains, but, it's a foggy old England. And then island. So I'm not super familiar with the Dracula novel, but I know there is at least one scene of ship travel, that kind of thing. So the mystery card is great. Okay, it's a basic island. So this is one of the Jumpstart basics, which Jumpstart did not have any foils in it, and so they started making foil versions of those cards and putting them only in Secret Lairs, so they can be somewhat valuable. Also, they're heavily themed, so this island is like the Spirit Island, but it's also not very flat. So for the time being, I'll keep this one in the plastic, but I'm going to enjoy putting these basics into a couple of my decks, but yeah, kind of a whiff in a way on the bonus card. But that's okay. We got a few more that should be, that should be the least interesting of these. So, going on to the next one. What do I feel like next? Maybe we go through the other Castle Dracula stuff. So I've got Welcome to Castle Dracula. The non-foil edition, I believe, is the one for me. Because a few of these things, I saw that my money might be drying up, so I didn't want to commit to, the most expensive thing, or commit to a huge number of things. So I, budgeted a little more on these. But, let's see. Hunger of the Ancient One. Let's see if I can get it off there. Oh, this one's stuck down a little harder. Oh, but not too bad. Okay. There we go. So Hunger of the Ancient One is a different name for Exquisite Blood. Exquisite Blood is, fairly valuable, and is key to one of the more popular black combos in Commander. Although it's not one that I actually run, so, honestly, I've been thinking about I might turn around and just sell some of these. Exquisite Blood is definitely on the short list for me. of cards that I know are good, I know are valuable, but I don't think I'm actually going to use it. So this is what the non-foil ones look like, and it's maybe a little dark in this room, honestly, but I like it. Night Feeder's Visitation. So this is Night's Whisper, and I definitely do play this in some decks. This is an excellent staple card draw in black, and I think it's normally worth like about $2, something like that. So I'll probably hold on to that one. I'll probably use it. And Dracula's Tomb is the main one that I personally would have bought this for, and because I played Phyrexian Tower in multiple decks, I didn't own a real copy of it. It's kind of expensive. So it was actually basically the cost of Phyrexian Tower and Night's Whisper to buy a normal version was the cost of the Secret Lair. And then the Exquisite Blood was a bonus of like $25 on top or something like that. So I thought that was a pretty good investment. And then there's the mystery card, which is another basic land. Although this one seems to be the like vampire basic from Jumpstart. It's another foil basic. I don't know how much these foil basics are worth. The ones that were originally from Jumpstart. I'd imagine a couple bucks for most of these. Since you can only get the foils in Secret Lairs. Okay, then let's see. The last one that is specifically for me is going to be the Secret Lair X Arcane. It's time to let the monster out. Okay, interesting. So, ooh, okay. The box is a little different. That's nice. So I played a little League of Legends back in the day, but just for a little bit. I watched the Arcane TV show when it came out, and I really liked it. And I especially was eager to get some of the reprints that are in here that are very good and interesting, like gold background on this. I think this is the first time they've used a gold background. Come on. I'm trying to be careful. There we go. Okay. So, right up front, we've got a Path to Exile. Okay. Which is a really kind of brief moment from the show. Barely even remember it from, like, what, episode 2 or something? Something like that. Once again, trying to be very careful. Opening this. There we go. Okay. Okay. Well, of course, for these being not foil, they look very flat, so that's good, as they ought to be. I want to make sure I've got sticky stuff off of my fingers. There we go. Okay, so Path to Exile, obviously mono-white staple, not mono-white, white staple in Commander. Most white decks do play this. Then we come to Unstable Harmonics, which I am super glad that we finally have a legitimate copy of Rhystic Study that does not have art by Therese Nielsen, and is not a Judge promo that costs hundreds of dollars. This was affordable, accessible for at least a little while, and at least in the United States and stuff. Looks fine, and I'll be happy to play this in some of my decks, replacing some cards that were a little less tasteful to me. So, happy to have that one in particular, and practically worth the cost of the whole package by itself. It's going for like, what, $20, $25? Something like that. Duress doesn't get a lot of play in the games that I play, in Commander and stuff. One player, one card, targeted discard isn't, valuable in Commander, really. Round 2, this one's interesting, as Seize the Day is, it's an alternate name for it. Seize the Day is a card that's been on the borderline of making a lot of my decks. Gashoth is one of them. I've got a Samurai Commander deck that this is on the borderline of as well. So having a legit copy of it, yeah, I might make it in a couple decks. Denting Blows, aka Krosan Grip. I absolutely play Krosan Grip in more than one green deck. In fact, it's absolutely a staple, played in most green decks, so happy to have that. Counterflux, I'm not much of a counter mage myself, and I don't play a lot of blue-red, like Is It, so I don't really have a place for this one personally, but it's, and it's not super valuable. But that's fine. It's a decent little addition. And then the Hex Core, this card I play. Thren Dynamo, used to be a lot more of a staple than it is today, but I think that if you have an artifact that adds more than half of its own mana value back and does it without coming in tapped or with any other kind of drawback, I still think that's good. You just want to have a deck that doesn't have high color requirements. So a monocolor deck or a deck that cares about artifacts, maybe can untap them extra times, something like that. Then this card I think is still great. Then the secret card in the back, I forget if this was spoiled already, but it's Gromp. Okay, I think this is one where it would help to be more familiar with the source material, because I am not familiar with Gromp. I am familiar with Spore Frog. Spore Frog is kind of cool. I don't believe this is particularly valuable. The original card, I would guess, is probably like $1. So Gromp, just a neat little bonus. I'm going to keep the little gold foil in this one. Okay. So, we've got a couple more that are technically repeats, but in foil. So I won't have as much to say about them, but they'll look even prettier. So first we have Welcome to Castle Dracula Foil Edition. This one is for my friend. And, okay, we can compare now, by the way, the difference between the foil and not foil in terms of cardboard quality, if it's very curved, how shiny the foils actually are, because that has been an issue in some recent sets. Some people have been talking about getting collector booster packs and boxes, and they're coming through not very shiny at all for foils. And this is, coming out of the box, noticeably curved. Not terrible, but, not great. Yeah, you can see that, obviously. Okay, and then the shininess. Yeah, I mean, once again, it is a little dark in this room. I don't have a lamp directly above right now. Actually, let me show you what happens when I do. Let's see. Actually, this might be fine for what we're doing right now. You can see how there's a big glare, right in the middle here. But for looking at the foils, it helps. So it is a little bit subtler than in some of the, best examples that we've seen. But it's also a pretty dark image. Compare it to the Night Feeder's Visitation, which has some real glinting spots on it and stuff. Seems pretty nice. And Dracula's Tomb. Yeah, which is lovely and shiny. Okay, and then the secret card in the back, is it once again? Yes, it is once again a basic swamp. Okay, well, we'll just stick those back in there. Okay. Then the, let's see, Secret Lair Arcane Foil Edition. It's time to let the monster out. I assume that's referencing Jinx, probably. That seems to be kind of what's going on with her most of the show. No spoilers here. Oh, this one came out a little crooked, but that's fine. It's just the glue, not the cards themselves in any way. Okay. Seems to be also at least a slight curve to these, so, I mean, kind of typical at this point to expect a little bit of a curve on the foils that we get these days. I mean, I would love for that not to be the case. I don't want to just accept that, well, this is how it's always going to be, and, forgive and don't worry about it. But at the same point, predictable. But Path to Exile. Okay, there's not a lot going on in this art, but, you know, it's got a little bit of glinting going on there. And this one has a little more going on. And yeah, a foil heuristic study. I don't know, how much are those going for? $100? Something crazy. There's a little mark in the corner of that one. Okay. Ooh, the duress looks pretty good with the shininess to it. There's a real glint on like these lines coming out. Stands out. That's pretty nice. Same thing with the glowing lines on this one. Seize the day. There we go. Yeah. Denting blows. Once again, to you know, to my eye, this magenta here really sticks out. I don't know if that's coming across in the camera very well. Oh, and same thing here. These streaks coming down really stick out in the light, in real life here. Oh, yeah. Glowing bits seem to do really well with the foiling. Okay. And then the bonus card in the back. It's a foil Gromp. Alright. Get Gromp out here. And then we are coming up on the last box, which is one that is different from the rest, not a repeat. It is the Fblthp one, completely, utterly, totally lost. And this one had an art style that was just immediately appealing, especially to anyone who you know, grew up in the 90s with the Where's Waldo's books. It seems to be in that kind of art style. Wow. There's just so much going on here. Let's get it up off the background. Get a close look at the art. In fact, okay, I'll open it up here. Then we can get a close look at the art. Okay, and this is the not foil version, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, the not foil version. I assume there is a foil version, but look at everything that's going on here. There's so much detail. You can just stare at a card like this for hours. And there's a bunch. So there's Path to Exile. Once again, a staple white card. Goes in most white decks. Well of Lost Dreams. Not exactly a staple card, but if you are playing a life gain deck, especially one that lacks blue, then this is pretty popular in life gain decks. It may have fallen a little bit out of favor these days, but I do actually play it in my black-white life gain deck. Frantic Search is an excellent card. Goes in a lot of Spellslinger decks, combo decks, stuff like that. Absolutely excellent in any format that hasn't been banned in. I believe it was banned back in the day. Intruder Alarm. This card is an arguably overpowered combo piece. Goes infinite with a number of things, lots of things. Accidentally goes infinite all the time, in my experience. And then we got Shelldock Isle, which is not, you know, particularly valuable or particularly useful, in the sense that it's a hideaway land that says you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost if a library has 20 or fewer cards in it. So you can only really play it in mill decks. But whatever. The rest of the package is somewhat valuable and very unique art. And then the missing card in the back is Fblthp themselves. Fblthp the Lost. They're in the Lost and Found. I'll give you a pretty good look at the art. Should be in focus and everything. Chickens and swords and all kinds of stuff in the Lost and Found there. There's probably a dozen Easter eggs in this, and I don't know half of them. So someone can feel free to take a good long look at that and see all the different stuff going on there. I believe Fblthp themselves is somewhere in the art of one of these cards I just showed you. But maybe just one of them, or maybe all of them? I don't know. It's supposed to be a little bit like a Where's Waldo, so feel free to take a little time, pause the video, look through it, see if you can find them yourself. Besides that, that has been a look at a bunch of secret layers that I ordered and the surprise stuff in the back of them. I'd love to continue filming more videos of opening Magic products, including secret Lairs, booster boxes, and things like that when I can afford to. I've been, unable to afford some of the things that I would like for this YouTube channel, as it's not, making money for me, really. But I still love playing Magic. I'll get things when I can, and whenever I open anything interesting, I'll do it on camera so you can see it. And other than that, I hope you have a great day, and I see you all soon. Bye-bye.